All right, howdy folks, and welcome to Gridiron Live. Hope everyone is having a good Tuesday afternoon. Let's just make sure we are actually live on YouTube. I think we are. Looks like we are. Okay. Test the chat here. Howdy. How's it going? And maybe. There it is. All right. Let's find our door here. Alrighty, folks. So we're going to continue our NCAA 98, or NCAA Football 98, Texas A&M Dynasty. We are in week number 7, so it's Saturday, October 4th, 1997. And we are currently ranked number 22. And we'll be facing off against number 11, Colorado. Now, back in the 90s, Colorado had a decent team there for a couple years. They were kind of a flash in the pan a little bit, I would say. But we're going to face off with them nonetheless. I also actually found some cool books. Some NFL books, some college football books at the store. So we'll be taking a look at that and more right after this.
The right to bear arms is guaranteed in the Constitution, sir.
We're going to hold on to him by the nose, and we're going to kick him in the ass. We're going to kick the hell out of him all the time, and we're going to go through him like crap through a goose.
Roger Vick pounded his lane for 11 yards and a touchdown after taking...
We're going to cut out their living guts and use them to grease the treads of our tanks. We're going to murder those lousy Hun bastards by the bushel.
Alrighty, folks, we are back. Man, so many buttons to press. I wonder why I can't see my restream preview. I should be able to see it here. That's odd. Maybe if I go to home. Oh, there it is. Alright, figured that out. So yeah, let's see. This is probably one of the most relevant ones. This is just called the college game. It's backwards on the screen, but I like that it has the, that it's an older book. But it has some really beautiful color images. Has a lot of older ones, you know. But what I like about it is that it has some really nice high resolution images from, I think it's like the 60s. See if I can, whoops, that's the wrong one. There it is. So there's a lot of detail in these images. So what I'll probably end up doing is using some of these books as references for like uniforms and little details and all that kind of stuff. They have here's an image of SMU versus Texas A&M in the mid 60s. And we got like got Baylor here. And we have that's, what is this? Oh, that's TCU. That's TCU right there. A lot of cool Southwest Conference images. Got USC. Then they have a lot of like Leatherheads era kind of stuff. So that's a cool one. A lot of valuable resources there. And then kind of a similar thing. It's called Great Ones. It's backwards again, of course. It's got a Joe Montana on the front. It's not as thick, but similar concept here. Football from the 60s and 70s. See if I can find, oh, that is the Washington Redskins spearhead uniforms, which are pretty nice. Going against the Cowboys. But similar concept, a lot of older but very detailed images. Have the old school Chargers as well. You can see that. Got the Chargers, the Rams. It's just a lot of cool details. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but it's a cool image. A lot of detail in it. Got Randall Cunningham, Doug Williams. Really cool stuff. So that's another good one that I'll be using for reference for my football game pixel art. And I got man, I got so many. I have plenty of A&M books. This is the Pride of Aggieland. I got a lot of stuff about that. But I usually go to the sports section of the used bookstore, and I usually find some decent stuff. I like stuff with like pictures and high resolution images. One more to show you guys. This one is just called NFL Football, but it came out in 1996. So I get, you know, a lot of stats and a lot of stats and images from 1996. So it's pretty inspirational. Like it, just seeing the images and the layout of everything, and I think would be very inspirational. And they have every Super Bowl logo, starting from the first one when it was the AFL versus the NFL. And some of the pages in this book are misprinted, but it does have the, you know, NFL equipment and all that stuff from 1996. So it's pretty cool. That's one area that I know I'm gonna like doing, is all the pixel art. The programming portion is tough enough. Alright, so let's just go ahead and jump into the game. And remember, we're playing in coach mode, so we get to sit by and call the plays and watch the action. So, a lot of cool books. I think, I mean, I probably have enough right there, but I already know I'm going to get more for sure.
Welcome to Boulder, Colorado for today's game between the Texas A&M Aggies and the Colorado Buffaloes.
Let's turn that down a bit so we don't get any phasing. I know that was an issue before. Let's turn it down to minus 30 on the game audio, see if that does anything. Alright. Get this laptop screen out of my way. Man, it's such a beautiful game. And it's snowing, okay. I think I've played in a snow bowl once. You know what would be a cool feature is if teams that were accustomed to certain weather would have an advantage in that weather. Stuff like that I think is really cool, really interesting. A lot of attention to detail if a game were to actually have that. And it wouldn't be very hard to implement either. Kind of gets into the home field advantage territory, like what exactly that means and all that. I always felt that home field advantage, you didn't really feel it in the later NCAA football games. They did an okay job in like the PS2 era, like 05, 6 and up, because they had the pump up the crowd and the screen would shake and you could hear the crowd and everything. But really after that, I mean, oh, here's an interception already, number 48. It's quick.
Interception made by number 48.
In the 360 NCAA football games, you didn't really feel it. I mean, the player routes would move when you would look at the play art, but that didn't really affect much. There's Greg Hill for a gain of 4 yards. So, sometimes I would turn the announcer volume all the way down and turn the crowd volume all the way up. And it was a cool little boost to the crowd noise. That's one thing that I ended up doing, because I felt like, you know, being at home or being in a really good atmosphere, you didn't really feel it, because just the way the game was set up, you didn't really feel it. It's a first down, I think. We're gonna keep it on the ground. We're gonna run to the open side of the field. Number 34 finds a hole and gets maybe a couple inches. 2nd and 10. Should we hit our first pass of the day? Let's hit a play action pass. 6-yard gain to tight end number 89. Four yard.
Run by number 34, loss of 3 yards on the play.
4th and 7 at the 31. Kinda want to go for it here.
4th and 7 at the 31-yard line. Penalty mark on the field.
Never mind.
Number 72, offense.
4th and 12, so that's a 36.
Fourth and 12 at the 36-yard line.
Short punt here.
18-yard punt. Return for a gain of 1 yard.
I think I was a little bit too far out of field goal range, but it was close. Colorado comes out in a 2 tight end set, I think. Sort of ace big look, and that's a catch right there for 20 yards.
Complete to number 80 for a gain of 20 yards.
How's it going? Never played any of these games, but love retro gaming. This looks dope. Yeah, NCAA 98. It's one of my favorites. And it's pretty unique because of the way it looks. It has the 2D sprites in the 3D world. And at this time on the PlayStation 1, you were kind of, at least for sports games, you were starting to see more polygons. So this game was, I think it was a little bit late in, or maybe not late, but because Game Breaker around this time also had this look. But I think NCAA 98 visually is, I think, one of the best at the time. Madden 98 also looks like this, and it's just a really charming look. It looks better with this side camera, so I really like it. I really like the NHL games on PlayStation that had the sprites for the players but the 3D arena. Would that be the EA NHL games? I didn't really play those. I probably will at some point. But I hear that the hockey game that I really like is Face Off 2001. That's one that I've played a lot of, and on the channel too. Another game that I really like that has the 2D sprites is NBA Live 96. It's such a unique look, and it's because of that. NBA Live 96 is a unique game. So I've definitely played that game a lot. And it's just, I don't know what it's like the perfect compromise between 2D and 3D. Just to have the 2D sprites and the 3D field or the court or whatever. NHL 96 and 97 were that way. Okay. Well, I guess 96 makes sense because I know that NBA Live 96 was that way. Yeah, you should definitely check out NBA Live 96. I've played it a couple times here on the channel, but it's definitely a good one. Whoops. Actually don't want that play. Let me call a timeout here.
Timeout, Texas A&M. They have two.
When I played these style of games as a kid, I had no idea what plays were what. It's cool to go back and actually understand the play art. Oh yeah. Yeah, Yeah, that's the experience I had too. My first experience with that was with, what was it called? It was, I think it was NFL Play Action, or just Play Action Football on the Nintendo. Nice catch. As a kid, I had no idea what was going on with it. I just saw that the players would move on the field. And I had a little bit of that experience as well with NFL 2K5. By that time, I kind of knew a little bit more what was happening. But still kind of lost in what all the lines meant and everything. But yeah, it is cool to go back and understand what you didn't understand as a kid as far as games. 1st and 20.
First and 20 at the 37-yard line.
Yeah. Here's a deep pass. Deflected by number 6. 2nd and 20. We're going to need a deep pass here, I think. Number 7, short pass, he still misses.
Incomplete pass intended for number 20.
Well, we're just going to have to go deep, I think. Yeah, as far as childhood games go, it's really strange to have a childhood experience with a game, and you kind of have vague memories of it, and then you kind of go back and rediscover it, you know, decades later. I kind of had an experience like that with, where is this thing? We're gonna get called on for a delay of game. I remember playing Game Day with my uncle, like way back. I think it was on the PlayStation 1. I vaguely remember that one of us was playing as the Packers, and he told me to not let him win. It's a field goal? My God. I cannot read today. Just let the penalty be called. Is this coach mode? Yes, yes, Brandon. There's actually not a built-in coach mode, but if you just hike the ball and you don't press any buttons, the AI controls the players. So it's effectively coach mode. And that's honestly the way I like to play 98% of the time. Mostly because I feel like if you control the players, it's a little bit unfair. Because you're the smartest player on the field. And so the players don't behave as they were programmed to behave. And so it's cool to just call the plays and watch the players perform like they should and not the way that you would control them. Because you're supposed to be the coach, right? So why should you be able to control the players? That's the way I see it. What made me think that was there was no passing icons? Yeah. I've tried playing with, like, I've tried controlling the players with the side camera. It's actually not that bad. But because you can't see the players downfield, it makes it tough. But even then, it's a little bit like a zoomed in Tecmo Super Bowl, kind of.
Run by number 5 for a gain of 10 yards.
There are some games that I prefer to control the players. And that would be like arcade style games. Like Blitz or NBA Hoops or Hang Time or something like that. Because the gameplay is not as realistic, I don't mind controlling the players. And the players don't have a lot of stats, so it's kind of designed for you to control the players. But for more like serious simulation style games, I just like to be the coach and let the players run as they would.
Second and 10 at the 34-yard line.
I was getting Tecmo vibes. Yep. That's really, I think it's one of the first games that really popularized the side view. And I think it kind of owns the side view in my opinion. But there were other games early on that had the side view. I think 4th and Inches is one of those games. And then later on there were some... that would have been a perfect INT. There were some other games that had an optional side view, like Joe Montana Football, and there was a game called NCAA Football, which I've played on the channel, but it wasn't the EA football game, it was a different one. That one had a side view. Football Fury had a side view. There were a few of them. Alright, let's see. 1st and 10. We're in the second quarter, about a minute left. So we would like to get a chunk of yardage and get downfield.
Pass is broken up by number 91.
Let's see what we got here.
Second and 10.
We need to get to like the 30 and at least kick a field goal.
Pass is broken up by number 36.
3rd and 10. All right. 3rd and 10. Over the middle. That's a first down.
Complete to number 89 for a gain of 16 yards. First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Uh-oh. That was a dangerous pass.
Broken up by number 44.
With this game, if the difficulty is not... if it's not low enough, you really can't move the ball.
Second and 10 at the 45-yard line.
So the difficulty is actually pretty low, and even then it's pretty challenging.
Pass complete to number 87 for a gain of 5
Let's call a timeout here. We're at just about at midfield. So we got 1 left and about 20 seconds remaining. Hopefully we can get a pass to the sidelines. Oh, or how about a touchdown? There we go. Touchdown number 37 for 50 yards.
Pass complete to number 37 for a gain of 50 yards.
Check out that instant replay feature. See, although it doesn't look that bad, once you change the camera angle to anything but side view, it starts to look, in my opinion, not as good. So let's get our field goal kick going. What's really challenging to do from the side view are the field goals, because you still have to control the field goal. The power obviously is not hard to do. It's the direction. And you can only change a direction as the power meter is going up, so you have like a split second to really find where you're going to kick it. So it does make it challenging, especially since you can't see down the field. You kind of have to guess from the side view. Alright, we're gonna go dime 3 deep.
Colorado ball, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
I think I got my play in. Ooh, sack.
Quarterback sacked by number 51, a loss of 9 yards.
And that's halftime.
That's the end of the first half with the score, Texas A&M 7 and Colorado 0.
Let's check out some halftime stats. Where are my stats? Here they are. So at the half, we have 132 yards of total offense to their 70. 125 of those are passing and 7 are rushing, which again you wouldn't expect for an A&M team of the 90s. They were definitely a running team, but you know, passing just seems to get it done in this game. 0 turnovers, 3-1 on third down conversions, 6-3 third downs. Our third down conversion percentage was 50 to their 33. We had 5 penalties, I think, for 30 yards. We had double the time of possession, roughly. And 3 first downs to their 4. And let's see how number 7 is doing. He has a rating of 158.7, 7 out of 13 for 53%, 125 yards with an average of 9.6. 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, and 0 sacks. Not too bad. And I think it's time for a studio update with the EA ticker. Are there any notable games? BYU is down on Utah State 10-7 at the 4th quarter. No surprise there. Florida, number 3, is up on Arkansas 21-3. Florida State over Miami. Kentucky is tied with Alabama 10-10. I don't think there's any surprising results here. Notre Dame is number 1 actually over Stanford. Mississippi, Tennessee, LSU, Vandy. Virginia is tied at 3s with Wake Forest. Washington, number 7, up 30-21 on Arizona State. And nothing much there. So there's our little makeshift halftime show. Now that the players are set, we're ready to go. Number 8 kind of outruns his blockers there. Gets a gain of 18 yards. So we are going to go back to the ground. Hopefully we can set them up for a play action pass.
Texas A&M ball, 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
A little toss to a Greg Hill for 7 yards.
For a gain of 7 yards. Second and 3.
We're going to line up in split backs. Give it back to Hill.
Run by number 34.
A gain of 1.
1 yard.
Let's see what we got. 3rd and 2. Can we get 2 yards here? I think we can.
Live on the play.
But we got holding on number 62.
Number 62.
This game really likes to screw you with the penalties. It's 3rd and 12. We're going to need a pass. Let's go. We'll just go with a play action. Maybe we can get someone out of position.
27-yard line.
Another delay of game.
On the offense.
Come on now.
3rd and 17 at the 23-yard line.
Oh, that's a catch. Number 37.
Pass complete to number 37 for a gain of 21 yards.
That ends up working out. Let's give it back to Greg Hill. The pathfinding AI for the running back in this game, not the greatest. What ends up happening a lot of the time is they either don't run outside enough or they don't cut and they get tackled. So
Broken up by number 4.
that's a little bit of a price to pay for the coach mode in this game. But usually, I think it's okay. It's 3rd and 6.
3rd and 6 at the 46-yard line.
Big pass to number 1 at the 10 to the goal line. Pass interference on number 6, but we're going to decline that and take the 6 points. What a pass. Boom, he could go all the way. Very nice. Okay. Check out the snow on the Colorado banner. The cool attention to detail right there. Now we get to watch the referee. All right. Give me a second. I gotta go to the bathroom. I will put some commercials on and I'll be right back.
Viola sisters agree on only one thing. It should have the finest Italian sausage. At Pizza Hut, we couldn't agree more. Introducing our newest Priazzo Italian pie. A blend of zesty Italian sausage, green peppers, onions, and cheeses. New Priazzo Portofino. We think it's delicious, and we believe that even the Viola sisters would agree.
There's nothing like Pizza Hut pan pizza.
Making it thick, making it tall, making it splashing, having it all. Making it heat, making it deep. Sizzle and drizzle, steam and creaming. Making it early, making it late. Pizza Hut, making it great.
The great taste of pan pizza. 2 layers of cheese, lots of toppings, and a chewy crust. It's America's favorite.
Pizza Hut, making it great.
And now some typical consumer reaction to an exciting Pizza Hut offer.
Yabba-dabba-doo! Yabba-dabba-doo! Yabba-dabba-doo!
Yabba-dabba-doo!
That's right, it's Flintstone Kids glasses. Freddie, Betty, Wilma, and Barney. Just 49 cents with any Pizza Hut pizza. There's a different glass every week, so you can collect all 4 for your kids. What do you say to that? Flintstone Kids glasses, only at Pizza Hut.
Alrighty, folks. Sorry for the delay. Alright, so we just scored a touchdown. Not much there by Colorado.
By number 18. Colorado ball, first and 10 at the 22-yard line.
That commercial was amazing. So nostalgic. Oh yeah, I got a lot of commercials. I got a lot of like pizza commercials. I have a library of 90s commercials. I like to have a bunch of like a large library of commercial compilations, and then if I ever want to, you know, just step away for a second, I'll just play those. What I used to do is, you know, I would have a little halftime break and then I would play some commercials. But I kind of stopped doing that. Good catch there. But yeah, I would like to have a large catalog of commercials from the 80s and 90s and just have them on hand if I ever need to use them.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
That's one thing that I didn't know would keep my attention so much are the commercials. Like when I'm programming and working on my game, when I was doing the logos, I would put on a game from the 80s or 90s, and usually they have the commercials recorded in them. And I don't know what it is about marketing, but it's like it reminds you of, it makes you feel like it was a simpler time. Obviously it's nostalgic, but even for someone who never saw those commercials, it gives you that sense of nostalgia. So nostalgia's really strange. You watch a lot of 80s and 90s wrestling stuff on YouTube, and all the commercials are in there. Oh yeah. Sometimes if I just want the commercials, I'll just go find them. And for some reason, commercials, just like compilations of commercials, they're just really good for like to be like subtle in the background while I'm working on stuff. I don't know why, but just like I mean, I heard someone explain that the marketing back then was different. It was less specific. Right, in today's world, right, everything advertises to you, right? Our data is collected, right? They know what you look for, they know what you want, they know the kind of things you're interested in. And so marketing doesn't have to be as broad and as appealing, generally appealing. Versus back then, if they wanted to have a commercial during a football game or something, they didn't know who was going to be watching the game. They didn't know, like, all the demographics. And so they had to make things that were very broadly appealing. And I thought about it, and I think that makes sense to a certain degree. But it's also just, you know, it's just the mindset of a different time. You know, the way they would appeal to people, what mattered to people was different. And it does have a certain warm feeling to it. I think that's a decent way to describe it. But it's, god dang it. It's like it's the visual quality, it's the way it sounds, it's people's mannerisms from back then. It's all of that.
Pass is broken up by number 4.
I think we're just gonna run the clock out here, or try to milk the clock.
Second and 15 at the 41-yard line.
But like all the movies that I watch, a lot of the TV shows, basically everything that I consume as far as media is older. I still buy VHS. I have a VCR right down there.
Third and 7 at the 49-yard line.
Back in middle school, I would buy cassette tapes. And this was back before it was like popular. Like the 80s weren't. Oh, I guess we're gonna get a touchdown right here. It was back before the 80s resurgence had really come to fruition. So I wasn't doing it to be like a hipster. It was just because they were cheap and I had a cassette player. I wish now that I had kept all of them, because I had a bunch of them. I still have a few here and there, but I don't have a cassette player anymore. But I just like older things, you know. I like things from particular time periods. Back when people hadn't lost their minds nearly as much as today. You could actually, you know, maybe watch something and not have an overt political message in it, you know. It's crazy how much appeal stuff from the 70s, 80s, and 90s has.
Kickoff return 14 yards by number 20.
In large part because of what it doesn't have in it, you know? I still have an original Star Wars trilogy on VHS. The original.
Incomplete pass intended for number 18.
These are the originals. Kind of torn up, but
At the 29-yard line.
the actual tapes are in pretty good shape. Actually in very good shape. Just the outside box is a little rough. It's got all your... got Vader and everyone on it.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Have to be careful with VHS though, because it's very easy to get out of hand with buying them. One, because they're so cheap. You know, I get them for like $0.25 now in certain places. At most a couple dollars. So I got, you know, some Steven Seagal movies. I found Hard to Kill the other day. I didn't get it. It was like $1 something. I'd already seen Hard to Kill, but I really did want to buy it, but I ended up not getting it. But I have a few other ones that I haven't seen yet over there. I got Rocky IV. Got Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I got Fletch. I got some action movies that I haven't seen yet. I got quite a few things. So I definitely have a lot of VHS. I'll probably end up getting more. Oh yeah, I got some NFL films on VHS and some non-NFL pro football films. The only thing is that my VCR is well, it's a DVD and VCR combo. I don't really have to use the DVD because I have my desktop right there. I have an Xbox 360 right here. Like I have like several different ways to play DVDs. But the VCR is connected to this current TV with a AV to HDMI converter or adapter. So it stretches the picture, which I don't like. The reason why I have that is because this TV doesn't have AV in. It has an input for a specific adapter for AV. I need to get one of those. That way it doesn't stretch the picture. Because who wants to watch VHS in 16:9 aspect ratio if that's not its native format? Just doesn't make any sense. Come on, 34.
Run by number 34 for a gain of 4 yards.
Let's see. We'll just keep running out the clock. I actually have my PlayStation 2 underneath the Xbox 360. I don't really use it that much at all anymore. I tried to use it on the channel, And I was actually using this specific AV to HDMI adapter, but the picture quality was like really bad when I would capture it, and the emulator just runs so much better. So, but I actually do have a lot of, I have some PS1 games physically. I got a lot of the game days on PS2. Here's a Game Day 97. Kind of hard to see. Game Day 98 right there. We got Game Breaker 2000. And my personal favorite is Game Day 2001 on the PlayStation 1. This is, it's very similar to Game Breaker 2000, but 2001 just has an extra bump in features. Guess they scored finally. Yeah, Game Breaker 2000 is cool. 2001 is the best one though. Even out of the PlayStation 2 versions. Like Game Breaker 2004 isn't bad. The gameplay just isn't there, you know. Sucks that they stopped making that game. But I do have Game Breaker for the PlayStation 2. We got Game Breaker 2001 and 2004. I have Game Day 2004 on there. Let's see. Did they get the ball back? What happened? I wasn't even paying attention. That's okay though. They have to score. They have to score twice in 50 seconds.
Timeout, Colorado. They have one remaining.
Yeah, I got a lot of older things. I actually used to have a 1991 Camry that I kind of wish I still had. But I still have the repair manual for it. I bought it because I thought I was going to restore it. 91 Camry. It's a beautiful car.
Pass complete to number 80 for a gain of 19 yards.
Man, I should probably play the game and not just talk over it. Let's see, are they gonna score? That they do. All right, Colorado. Some great stuff. Thanks for showing it. Man, I got so much stuff just piled on these shelves right here. I have my A&M Football helmet. I have a yearbook from A&M 1989. It's like this thick. There's a lot of little doodads. A bunch of stuff. Oh, there's Patrick. Go Aggies at work, but saying a quick hello. How's it going, Patrick? Looks like we're going to hang on to the win here, I think. Got 30 seconds. Up one touchdown in the fourth quarter. just trying to milk the clock here.
For a gain of 1 yard. Timeout, Colorado.
Colorado takes their final timeout.
Second and 9 at the 48-yard line.
And we toss it to 34. Oh, he's still on his feet. Gain of 6.
Number 34 for a gain of 6 yards. Third and 3 at the 42-yard line.
And we don't get a final play in there. That's going to do it.
Game with the final score, Texas A&M 21 and Colorado 14.
So on this snowy day, A&M beats Colorado in Colorado, 21-14. Colorado was beginning to mount a little bit of a comeback there, and I wasn't really paying attention, but they were getting it nonetheless. So Aggies get the win. 218 through the air and 99 through the on the ground. Take a look at number 7 here. He ends with a 170.4, 11 out of 21, 52%. Average of 10.3, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. So number 34 gets the bulk of the work. 16 attempts for 94 yards, an average of 5.8. And also a touchdown, so that's good. So that's the end of that game. Yeah, got plenty of stuff here. A lot of books, old books. I have a football conditioning book. I think it's like football conditioning the Penn State way, and it's like from the 70s. So that's the kind of stuff that I look for when I go to like thrift stores or bookstores or anywhere where they sell movies and books and all that stuff. I'm always looking for sports related things. See if I have that Penn State book anywhere. Oh, strength training. That's what it is. Strength training for football the Penn State way. Let's see, what year is it? 1978. I thought I was going to maybe get some ideas for like the practice sessions for my game with this book, and I haven't really used it, but still cool to have. I'm definitely quickly acquiring football books. I don't know if you guys saw the beginning of the stream, but I showed some really nice books at the beginning. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff. So that's going to do it for week number 7. Week number 8 is October 11th, 1997. That's going to be Iowa State and A&M. We will take a look. Oh, the scout mode is really cool in this game. It's a little simple and incomplete. It's still cool. You can look at their key players, their key plays, which I think is a cool feature. I wish they could tell you a little bit more what to do with this stuff. But it's cool that it's there and it gets you thinking about it strategically. Team matchup. They also have the scouting report. The Cyclones will involve their running backs early and often in the hopes of knocking off the big boys. It's a little vague, but it's still cool to see. And I wish they would have built on this feature, but and of course you can also practice with your Dynasty team, which is another cool feature. That's one thing that Game Breaker never had, was practicing with your career mode team. So we are 3-1 so far on the season. We beat Vanderbilt 36-0. We beat Southern Louisiana, or Lafayette, 24-14. We kind of lost a shocker to North Texas, 7-10. And we just beat Colorado 21-14. We have Iowa State next. And then we're going to get into the bulk of the Big 12 conference play here. With Kansas State, Texas Tech, Oklahoma Tech, Baylor, Oklahoma, and of course, Texas University. We'll take a peek at the top 25. So Notre Dame is obviously still at number 1, 5-0. Florida, number 2, 4-1. Ohio State, North Carolina, Nebraska, Washington, Miami, Florida State, LSU, Penn State, Alabama, BYU, Michigan, Syracuse, Iowa, Texas, Colorado, Tennessee, Virginia Tech, Virginia, A&M, Tech, Michigan State, Stanford, and South Carolina. So how is Tennessee on here at 1-3? I don't know. Surprised to see some of these teams on here. So they also have the Bowl Watch, of course. The Orange Bowl, Sugar Bowl, Fiesta, and the Rose Bowl. I don't know if they have any more bowls besides that. I also forgot if I set the Dynasty to tournament or bowl games. Let me see. Yeah, bowl game. You can set it to do a playoff, which is cool. But I wanted to keep it classic and just do the bowls. Alright, so I think that's going to do it for me. We got a good win against Colorado, and next time we'll be going up against Iowa State. But that's going to do it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks to Patrick and Brandon and Come the Rats. Here come the Rats. For being in the chat. Always appreciate that. But that's going to do it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will be seeing you guys in the next one.